Welcome to Breaking the Chains. I am Bakita. I am here with Robyn, who is in Ghana, and we have finally been able to connect. This internet thing is a thing. So Robyn, would please go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's talk about your life in Ghana.
Sure. Okay, my name is Robyn Bobby. I am originally from Philadelphia, but have been living in Napa, California. So now I'm here in Ghana. So here I am, and I'm here to basically to tell the truth.
Blair, yeah, let's tell the truth. So how long have you been in Ghana?
So I've been coming back and forth to Ghana for the past 8 years. And when COVID happened, I've been here since COVID happened. So now I'm living here steady. But every summer for 8 years, I was coming to Ghana. But now I've been here for the last 2.5 years.
Oh, wow. So what made you go to Ghana in the first place?
So here's what happened. I had moved from Philadelphia. I had basically, long story short, I had a business there for about 20 years, and I decided that I needed a change. So I started writing books, and because I felt like, okay, I also need to up my skills with writing and stuff like that. So I decided to close down my business of 20 years, and then I relocated to New Mexico. And to further my education. So I went back to further up my education in journalism and sociology. So here I am. And then after that, so wow, okay, so here's the story. While I was in New Mexico, I also was getting my degree in Spanish. So while I was pursuing my degree in Spanish as well, I decided to start traveling again to learn Spanish. So the university had such amazing programs, and they had like, okay, do you want to go for the summers to go somewhere else? And I was like, oh, sure. And because I had been studying in all the South American countries, I was like, no one here looks like me. I need to go somewhere where people are looking like me.
Yeah.
So my professor said, well, where do you want to go? So I said, I want to go to Ghana. And he said, why Ghana? I said, my ancestors are calling me and I need to be there. And that's how I wound up in Ghana the first year as a volunteer for advocate for child labor and child trafficking.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So how was that working with such a delicate type of situation, child labor and child trafficking?
Yes, so it was very challenging because even as an African American woman, to come to Ghana and to see, you know, my brothers and sisters here in, you know, certain states of I guess, a different level of poverty, I would say, and the trafficking and you know, the child labor was real. And I know the U.S. have their issues as to come here and to talk with, you know, people to understand in the fishing community what they were doing with the children and how young the children were working. So, you know, I was just sort of like, hey, I'm here. And every summer I came back and, you know, to be part of those organizations.
Oh, wow. So, you know, when people hear child trafficking, it sounds like something quite like a dangerous job to get into. So did you find it to be, I know it's challenging, but did you find any, like, was it dangerous?
No. It wasn't dangerous in terms of that way, because basically we just came out and we talked to the children and we talked to the parents and we talked to them about the fishermen. It was basically the fishermen. I'm here at the fishing community now, and it was basically about the fishermen trafficking their children to go and, you know, to loosen nets and things like that underwater at such a young age. And then some of the parents were giving their children away to the fishermen, and others were being trafficking just for those, for that reason. So it wasn't dangerous, I would say, in that way, but it was challenging because of the language barrier, and just talking to the parents for them to understand that, we understand that you need food, we understand that you need money, but this is not a way to just send your child away with fishermen or something just for that money. So we had to really do a lot of talking and things like that with the organization that I was working with at the time.
Oh, were the parents easy to receive what you guys were trying to explain to them? Or was it, did you find it difficult to get them to really understand where you guys were coming from?
So for me, my most difficult part was the language barrier. In the village that we were in, most of the people speak Tree and Ga. Mm-hmm. And because at the time I was speaking Tree, I was learning, which I still learn now. And that's most difficult for me, being a foreigner, coming to another country, especially with people who look like me, and trying to explain to them that these are things that, we want to stop, and we want, you guys to understand that this is something that you don't have to do. So my major thing was just the language barrier, but because I had people who spoke the language, it was quite difficult for them as well. Because people, some people are just, stuck in their ways, and, if money is an issue in some countries, then, they hear you, it goes in one ear and out the other. So because of that, I did it, for the years that I was here, but I also decided to open my own organization as well.
Okay. Well, tell me about your organization.
While I was here, also I was in the schools, and I was helping the children to tell their stories, as far as writing books and stuff like that, because I'm also an author. So I have lots of skills and lots of things that I do. The kids were always asking me, "Are you coming back, Madame? Will you come back to Africa?" And I was like, I am coming back during the summer, but they wanted to keep in touch the entire year. So I started We Are One People Global. And here in Ghana, it's Global People Foundation. So I have two. And it's a connection to bring people together around the globe. And for the children, it was for pen paling. So what we were doing, we were pen paling. I would go to the schools. I would exchange letters back and forth from some teachers in the US, and then the teachers here, and the kids were open the letters. I would bring the letters back. And some people in the US, because we're so used to computer, they would be like, well, can we just write the kids on the computer and have them write us back? You don't have to do the letter exchange. I was like, no, penmanship is lost in the US, and these children here, they write. Penmanship is like on the money. I'm talking cursive writing, things that the kids in the US don't do anymore because of the computer. So I wanted to bring penmanship back for the US children as well. So, basically that was part of my program. And then of course, health and wellness, community service, and education.
Oh, cool. Can we see your background there? It's so beautiful. Can we show the fishing community behind you?
Yes, so here's the fishing community in the town above me. It's called Senya. And here's where I go and get my fish, my squid, lobster, all here.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that. Yeah, that's amazing. So one of the biggest things that I think we lose with people getting ready to move to Africa or to Ghana specifically is a lot of times we don't get the truth or the complete truth. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is, can we talk about some of your challenges? We'll talk about some of the great things, but what have been some of your challenges about living in Ghana?
challenges here in Ghana, to be honest. It really, in my point of view, through my lens, it takes a different kind of person to actually live here in Ghana. And that's just the truth, as you know, right?
Yeah.
So, small things, after the honeymoon stage is over, when you come and live and you're like, oh, wow, I'm building a house, I'm living in the community, I'm with my folks, I'm in Africa, wow, and you're feeling great, and you're, it's just lovely, to be honest. But then you have those challenges. Okay, language.
It's breaking up a little bit here.
Language barrier is a challenge, and yes, that's a total different language from. It's a different language from Tree in Ghana and Tree in Ga, and all these other Hassas and all these other. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it's a language barrier. So here in Senya, the people here in Senya, they speak Senya. Okay, so that's another language. so but you have to be honest, like, you have to come to the country and you do have to learn some of the language in order to get by. I'm not just talking about warning like, IA and dabi dabi and things like that. I'm saying you have to know full sentences sometimes to get, to assimilate in the culture. So that's one thing. Some other things like the internet. Internet. So you can live in communities where the internet is just going strong all day. And then, it may be a time when you really need that internet and then the internet is gone. And you are like, oh my God. And if you're working remotely, there's no explanation for it.
But people always tell people to get a remote job and go, and then they can work in Ghana remotely. So would you say it would be easier if you're living in the city versus living in the countryside?
Well, I would say that yes, I would definitely say that because I have good friends that live in Accra. I have good friends that live in Tema and Kumasi, and they don't have as much of an internet problem, but they have internet problems.
Right.
So it just depends, I guess, where you are actually located at and what communities you're in. If they're like high-end communities and where other people can't afford to really live. So I guess it depends on, where you are. So, okay. So the internet, I would say, is a challenge for sure. And then you have things like lights out. And that doesn't matter where you live.
No matter where you live.
Okay. Have a generator if you like, or have some solar, because those are some challenges that people don't even talk about. And if you're coming from this city, to be honest with you, those things can affect you, some sort, sometimes even emotional, because you're like, oh, well, when is the lights come on? The lights is out. I don't have no air and I have no fan. But I always tell people, what about Ghanaians who have lived here all their life?
Yeah.
Okay. But at the end of the day, there can be some challenges for African Americans who are coming to relocate, but don't talk about. And those are the things that people don't even talk about at all. At all. And those are real challenges. Other challenges, the roads. It may take you like 10 minutes to get one place, and then to the same place somewhere else, it may take you 1 hour or 2 hours
Yeah.
because of the roads and the traffic.
Yeah.
So, you know, these things are challenging.
It's quite challenging, I know.
We're not talking about, okay, I have a job and I got to be there at 9 o'clock and I leave out of my house at 8 and I'm going to get there. No, honey, you better leave out of your house maybe about 4 hours early to get where you got to go.
If you want to be there on
where you're
time.
working. If you want to get there on time here in Ghana.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's many challenges here in Ghana, and some of those are some of the challenges that I've had. I've also had challenges when building my home. It's the first home I've ever built, and, you know, from scratch. We're talking about from ground up, scratch, cash money, no credit, you know, things like that. And, you know, we're talking about giving up a lot of cash and sometimes being gagged.
Yeah.
And, you know, people don't talk about those things either because it's true. Like, if you don't know, like, how to build a house, even if you do all the research in the world, Ghanaians do it different. It's different. And I'm not saying that it's impossible because all things are possible. I'm here as living proof. So it's all possible. Thing is, okay, you better be ready.
Yeah.
And you better be here. And that's another thing people don't talk about. You be here.
Yeah, you have to be there. And you know, it's a lot of I think there's a lot of times people are giving misinformation, maybe. I don't know if they mean to misinform or if it's on purpose, but you know, there's a lot of things that we just don't even understand about the culture, and you have to be able to be, you got to be there and observe and learn and all of those things. And with that comes a lot of challenges because the learning curve is pretty steep. And if you're not somebody who can get in where you fit in, it can be even harder. So when you know, you say there's a lot of challenges and all that stuff, but you're still in Ghana. The pandemic is pretty much over. You've although you built your house and all of that, you're still there. So why are you still in Ghana? And why haven't you come back?
So even with all of those challenges, and they are real, again, you have to have a certain determination and willpower to be here and want to stay. One of the reasons why I'm here is because my ancestors keeps me here. It's something that's unexplainable. I can't really explain it to people as to why I haven't and don't want to come back to the US in the way of the rat race of living. There's a certain kind of peace within here for me here in Ghana, and it's undescribable. People who look like me every day is what really keeps me here as well, because there's nothing like seeing people every day that look just like you when you're coming from the US. Because the US have a whole different type of, you know, thing going on with culture and people and, you know, people who immigrate there and, you know, people who is there and born there and things like that. And as that saying goes, is that like, I wasn't born Ghanaian, but Ghana is within me.
Yeah.
It's just true. And I, even though those things were challenges and still are challenges every day, I can go on and on about lots of things here that people really don't talk about. But to be honest with you, I can't see myself anywhere else. And I've lived in many countries, and I don't mean like I visited and I stayed for like vacation. I mean, I lived 6 months at a time in lots of countries. And for me to be here in Ghana, it's just home. So home is where the heart is. And, you know, they say originally from Philadelphia, but they say if you can make it there and you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you can,
It's true.
So I don't know. God keeps me here. It
It's
does.
true.
It really keeps me here.
Recently I've been talking a lot with sisters about their challenges living in Ghana as single women. And I wanted to ask you, as a single woman, or married, but you're living alone right now, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, as someone living alone, how do you feel, like, safety wise, like in your village? Like, how is that? How do you feel safety wise?
Safe. So you're saying safety wise,
Yeah.
right? So I'm glad you asked that question because yes, I am separated from my husband, and I've been living in Ghana alone since our separation, which I really came to Ghana before even meeting him. So I I was already used to Ghana. So I was here 2 years, 2 summers before I met him the third summer, and then we got married like that next year. So and I was coming back and forth since then. But what I found out is that when Kwame and I was together, I felt more, I hate to say this, but I felt more at risk for some reason because, Ghanaians sometimes when you're with them as a couple, they have a way of keeping you only close to them. And that's what Kwame did for a long time. It was just close to him, our business, the people would come in, the volunteers would come, and it was just that closeness. So it was more like not a fear, but like, oh, don't do this. People would this, and it was like, huh? Like what? Like, don't speak to people. Don't say this. What are you talking about? So I'm a very social person, right? So that was very hard for me to do. But because I was married and I was trying to assimilate in his culture and part of the world, I was just sort of like going with that flow. But living here, to be honest with you, in Ghana, as a single woman, I feel safe. I don't have any fear like in the US, whereas I hate to say this, that as a single woman and living by yourself or living somewhere, you feel kind of like uneasy because you don't know who's going to strike you or who's watching you or who's going to shoot you or who's going to stab you or something like that. And I'm being honest, I come home some nights at midnight, I'll knock on wood, and there's no wood, it's just stone here. But sometimes I'm home at 9 and 10 o'clock at night, and I live on a very on a street, a road where it's very dark. I put up a light near my house, but it's very dark. But when I tell you, when I get off the troll to walk that very long road, I don't know. I don't have the same fear that I have in the US. So I feel safe in Ghana. I really, really feel safe. I can't speak on other women. I don't know where they're living and, what village or, city that they're living in Ghana. But for me, I haven't had any issues with my safety, to be honest with you.
That's great.
And I don't fear. People at all.
Absolutely. So now I would like for you to, if you could, because there's a lot of single women, as you probably know, who are coming to Ghana. What tips could you give them to ensure that they have a better experience than maybe if they didn't know? Like, are there some things that you could say, well, maybe you shouldn't do this, or maybe you should do that to keep yourself in order for the society?
Yes. So what my suggestion would be, as a person who lived here for the past 8 years, coming and going and then here solid, is that for the single women that are coming, I would just say to them, first, safety first, of course, and that's everywhere, anywhere you go, and things like that. Okay. But I would say, like, get to know your surroundings, whether it's a village or whether it's the city. Get to know your surroundings. Stop coming here trusting every single body that you see, or that tell you that they're a prince or they're king, or they're some chief of some village.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Like,
I was hearing you say, like, don't, you were pretty much saying don't trust everybody you meet, right? I think what tends to happen is because we have a very romanticized idea about coming to Africa. We kind of sit down we kind of pull our guard all the way down, like drop our guard, and we feel like, oh, well, I'm in Ghana, I could just frolic around in the meadows.
He's a king. Oh my God, he's a chief. Oh my God, he's a chief. Oh, I met a real chief. I met a real king. And we do, because of course, what we're taught over in the U.S. sometimes about Africa is just totally just crazy. And when we get here, it's a different kind of spill, because I can say this for sure, and to tell the truth to a lot of ladies out there, Ghanaian men have a way with words. Sweet talk.
Oh yeah.
With it. So you can be easily pulled in with the sweet talk. I'm telling you, like, it's not a bad thing, because the sweet talk is different from what our sweet talk is from the U.S. From my experience, I know how the American is over there, okay? But here, these guys, in a matter of one day, will look at you and be like, I love you.
I love you.
Not one day, ladies. It's impossible. It's impossible, ladies. But I love you. But I love you, madame. I love you. What's wrong with you? Why can't I love you? And I'm telling you, for some of us, and for some of you all that's out there that hasn't heard those words in a long time, you can be like puppy dogs. I'm just saying. So you have to watch it. You have to watch that, because you will be drawn in. So, it's things like that, because the sweet talk is real. Mm-hmm. The Ghanaian men, they do have a way with words. I will give them that. But at the end of the day, it's like anywhere else you go, you cannot be drawn into those kind of things really, really quickly. And there's a younger population of men here. And if you come here and say middle age to older, or, past 40, and you're just kind of like in your thing, in your bag, then that 20-year-old is coming to you, and that 30-year-old is coming to you telling you they love you. They love that money, trying to tell you that you can't.
Tell the truth, shame the devil, yes.
That's the truth, ladies, I'm serious. And then you find yourself with these 20-year-olds and these 30-year-olds, and you're just like, yeah, he loved me though. And then you're giving up your password to your bank account, password to your Momo account. And, I trust him. Emmanuel, he's this, or Kwame, he's this, or Kojo, he's this. Not so fast.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
So I don't know. I don't know, ladies. I don't know if is it the juju, or is it something else? I don't know.
You know what it is. But with you mentioning the financial piece, I did a video months ago about people being financially abused, and I don't think people really understand how easily women can segue into, like, one of my viewers asked, how can somebody give up their bank card or their password or whatever. And I don't think people can really understand how easily someone can kind of slip into, especially because they don't know the place. And can you explain, I know you probably know some women who've experienced this. Can you explain how that could happen?
So from what I see, because one of the problems I did have with my husband Kwame was he would be quick to say, "No, you don't give me no money," and I'm like, "Oh, clap, clap," because everybody should, because why should I? You know, like I'm just not one of these people that believes everything and give up money very easily just because. When you're younger and stronger than me as well, and I'm a woman, and I came from just a different type of like background with a different kind of spill with strong women in my family, especially my grandmother.
Right.
But what I've seen here is that women here tend to take, when they take to the younger guys, and I'm not saying anything is actually wrong with that entirely, because if
right.
you're going to do that, I'm just saying that you have to be careful and selective with whoever you're with. And even with that, believe me, you can still be taken for a ride. I waited over 5 years before even signing over immigration papers for my husband Kwame, just to put that out there. And he still wanted to be in the US basically without me, because I'm here. So yeah. I'm being truthful, you know. So even as careful as you are, these things can still happen. But what I see happening is that because the women who do come and have, let's say, an income coming in, maybe a retiree or maybe someone that just did well and had their money and have some income coming in, they look at 500 CDs or 400 CDs. It's like, oh, that's on, he just asked me for 250 CDs. That's only, that's $25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they act like it's nothing. But it's something, because if you're getting taken advantage of for 250 CDs every week or every 2 days or every 3 days, that adds up to 100 and more. So yeah. I think what I see through my lens is that they look at the money as being small, as they call it here in Ghana.
Right.
And they say, because it's small, oh, he asked me for 50 CDs, and you give him that 50 CDs every day, and you're only saying, well, that's only $17. Mm-hmm. That's only $10. But before you know it, you done gave up thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. Because of that. And then for another part of this, is, excuse me for being long-winded, is that I think that the women are looking at it as well as like, okay, I have some sort of protection, or I have this person looking out for me or looking over my shoulder, so I should pay them something, and the money is small, so why not? But I'm gonna be honest with you, sis. I've never in my life, until I actually came to Ghana and listened for myself, for African American women having small young boys and men living with them as if it's some sort of like bad. Like, why is this person who pays no rent, who gives you nothing, and even if you're sexually with him, living in your house for free?
Right.
I don't put that connection in my head sometimes, but to each his own. But these are things that they don't talk about, but yet they do it. And it's something that they would not do over in the US, because they dog the African American men over there, you know, so much about that. Oh, you don't have a job, oh, you just that. And I get it. You get here and our African brothers don't have money and they may not can take care of you. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, my whole thing is you at least need to be able to take care of yourself.
Pretty much so here in Ghana.
What did
here
you
in
say?
Ghana, you can. You're here. Huh?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said here in Ghana, pretty much you're here and you can take care of your own.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of times women get into situations with these men and the men play on the fact that, you know, people think that there's no way to make money in Ghana. But my question always is, how were you making it before you got with this woman? How were you living? How were you surviving then? Continue to do that. The woman shouldn't have to come in and be the management of your life, especially your financial management. If you're not bringing something to the table as a man, then you don't need a woman yet. You need to get yourself in a position where you can at least take care of yourself before you trying to have a woman. Like,
and that's my point as well, because you know, in some ways you're still enabling the people, you
absolutely.
know, because the man, basically, because in Ghana, one thing I know, and I've been an entrepreneur all my life, right? And so here's one thing I know about Ghana. Ghana is a land of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Almost everybody here who doesn't work for the government or something, or isn't in politics, or aren't a lawyer or a police officer or something like that, they are entrepreneurs. That's one thing I know about Ghanaians. They will work their behinds off. They will sell whatever it is that they need to sell. And they've been doing that forever.
Right.
I came here and learned some of those skills myself, because I was like, whoa, okay, COVID, the organization isn't moving as well, things like that. People aren't coming, you know, to volunteer. Okay, what do I do? Long story short, I have some moringa trees that I grew myself. I found out, I researched moringa, this, that, and the other. Ghanaians love moringa. They all know what moringa does and all the, you know, things that it helps to heal. So I'm like, found some young girls. We talked. I taught them how to make tea. So I now produce some moringa hot and cold tea.
Yes.
So if I can come here and think like that, and the people that are already here are already thinking like that, why do I need to take care of anyone, especially a man, if I'm here?
Absolutely.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But so many women, they get so caught up in this whole, like you said earlier, romanticizing Africa. And I think we all have at some point. I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, like, it's like, whoa, I mean, if you get here and you do see something, you're like, whoa, this strong black man tingle. It is what it is. Like, the men are nice, right? So
they
I get that
sweet.
part. But at the end of the day, but the men are nice in the U.S. too. So
yes,
how many of those are you
are.
going to obviously let do the same things that you do here? So we do. We have to stop and we have to think. And we have to think more, and we have to put our thinking caps on. And even though, you know, it may be difficult, you know, maybe living alone, but you have to find your tribe. And you have to find your people and, you know, connect with people and stop bringing some of that same crap from the U.S. here as women. Because I found that here too. You know, one day a woman was telling me I saved her life from I don't know, whatever she was going through, and I didn't know her, and I'm not putting her out there like that, but I am. And the next thing I know, there's like, what happened to you? Like, you know, I don't know. So we have to stop that kind of thing too. You know, we have to respect each other and respect what each other is doing. Okay, you may build your house, but maybe you have a business. Maybe you have a business and a house, and maybe you just live in an apartment getting started. It's okay. And we all have to be able to say whatever she is doing, it's okay. You know, it's okay, but we have to find our tribe so that we can stop this dependency of thinking that we need like that extra layer of some sort of protection, or, you know, to free-handedly giving our money away just for no reason at all.
Yeah. So before I let you go, because I know we're really pushing it with the data and the time.
It's good here.
Okay. So you mentioned being an entrepreneur, and oftentimes I see people saying, oh, I want to go to Ghana and start this business or that business or the other business. And I'm thinking like, that's not going to work in Ghana. But you know, you don't want to crush people's dreams, and you don't want people to feel like you being a hater or whatever. But how can we get our people to understand that some of the businesses that you may think will work in Ghana is not quite in that space yet. Like, I'm trying to be diplomatic about it, but.
I hear you. Well, first, I think we have to all understand that as much as we all love Ghana, and God knows I love Ghana, I mean, I feel like this is where I'm going to die.
Absolutely.
Right?
I love the place.
So, you know, we have to still understand that Ghana still has its challenges as, you know, a third world country, right? And we also have to understand that we can't come here and change our people. We can't change the culture of our people. We can't change whatever it is that our people have going on here. If they eat banku 100 times a day, they eat banku 100 times a day.
That's
I'm
what
just
they
saying,
eat.
if you eat fufu, you eat fufu. So the people who come here and think that they're going to start a chicken and waffle, I'm just saying to everyone, and I'm not trying to crush anybody's dream or say, oh, well, she did it, I can too, because we all can do it, trust me. And it's true, we all can do whatever it is we put our mind to. But just know, if you're starting a chicken and waffle, you're not catering to the Ghanaian people. You may be trying to cater to some expats and some other ethnic groups of people that live here in Ghana that may have came and stayed. And like chicken and waffles, right? So what I'm saying is that I encourage everyone to come. And I know in the US, it's very difficult for people to just, you know, say, I'm coming to Ghana, I'm going to stay for 3 months or 6 months or a month. I was very lucky. For 5 years before coming here to live business, went back to school for 6 years, and I had some freedoms, right? So with those freedoms, I was able to travel more, come to Ghana, sit here for 5 months at a time. So I understand people don't have that kind of time. But I'm saying, if people want to come here and they want to start some sort of business, you must start with the people. You have to come and you have to get to know the culture and the diversity here in Ghana of the people. You can bring all the ideas that you want, but if you're not catering to the Ghanaian people for what they like and what they're used to and what they eat and what they like and things like that, you're not going to make it here when it comes to those type of things. So again, I'm not trying to crush anybody's dreams, because for me, my volunteer, you know, thing for bringing people together around the globe is globally. I host people, things like that, who wants to come, and mainly it was at one time for college students and things. And even with that, you know, it's like trying to pull hair to get people to come. So it took me a while to understand too, and I've been here for 8 years, that, okay, what can I do that will click or will match what Ghanaians are thinking? You know, so tea, neem tea, the moringa tea, and I even came up with a pineapple tea after doing the research of what it does for our bodies and things like that. And then I have a seasoned seafood season, spice seasoning. Now that one right there doesn't actually work for Ghanaians because they get their spices in the market themselves. But for the people in the US who doesn't, you know, who don't get a chance to taste the Ghanaian spices, then there you go. And for the expats that's here in the flea markets and stuff like that, there you go. But you cannot come here without assimilating or without talking with the Ghanaian people. And because that's another thing that I found out. We come here and we don't even have conversations with our brothers and sisters here. They tell me that African Americans barely want to talk to them. They barely know their names. They barely have time for them because we're so busy running around for pictures, photo ops, doing the same thing that we do in all these other countries, instead of getting to know the people that's here, and stop running to the schools taking photo ops with those children unless you're bringing some materials that they really, really need. Take a look at those desks, people. Take a look at the windows. There's none. Take a look at the teachers. Take a look at the uniforms. They need it. So I'm saying stop with the photo ops. We're Black people. Let's help our people out.
Yes.
So you have to get to know the culture is what I say.
I think yeah, I really appreciate you for saying that. I think one of the challenges that I've heard people have is that Ghanaian English and American English is quite different. So I think a lot of people find themselves getting a bit flustered and trying to have those conversations and communicate with Ghanaians. And I think that everybody needs to have some patience with each other, because coming in, from here, and Ghanaians had come in, and us trying to link together, the patience, everybody needs patience, because if Ghanaians are calling us to come back, we're heeding the call, but nobody is anticipating the challenges of these of us coming together, and the challenges are large, but it's not impossible. There's so many people
There's a lot of layers.
able to do it.
There's a lot of
yes, it's so many layers, and we have our own stuff that we walking around with, and then Ghanaians got their own stuff, they colonial stuff. So I think we all just need to be patient with each other. And like you said, we have to come there and get in and kind of try to learn the surroundings, learn the terrain, learn how to navigate, and learn how to be patient. Because being from here, I think a lot of people learn that even though they may have thought they were patient, Ghana will test your patience.
Hey,
to the max.
Hey. You live in Ghana and you live here as well. And one thing about patience, and I'm telling you, I brought the symbol. It's the symbol of the heart, and it's on my wall in my house, right? And it's patience, because for real, the Ghanaians had a very, and I to be honest with you, I sort of envy it. I can't lie. Yeah. They have this sort of thing, right? And this thing is like, okay, you're calling them to come and do something for you, and you're asking them to come, and they're telling you they're coming, and they're like, I'm coming. I'm coming. And you're looking at your clock, and it's 1 o'clock, and you have already called them at 7. Now it's 2, and it's, Madam, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. And it's 5 o'clock, Madam, I'm coming. I'm coming. They get there, and they come with a smile, and only thing you can do is be like, whoa, what? Before you go off and you like, I what you say, and then before you do any of that, it's the smile, and it's like, well, I'm here, Madam, I made it. I'm here. And you're like, okay, can you fix XYZ for me, because it's nothing else I can say. So the patience, and you're coming to live here, baby, you better develop some patience here. But I like what you said, and not to get off of that really quick, is that when you said the patience and you said the language barrier and this whole thing, but I want to remind our people back at home, our African-American people back at home that come here and want to stay. When you go visit these other countries, and a lot of you guys like Mexico, do you have patience there when these people are speaking nothing but Spanish, and you don't know what you're eating or drinking or what's on those menus? Not at all. Like, you don't, you know what I mean? So you have to develop the same kind of patience here that look just like when you go to the countries, these people are speaking these languages, and you haven't even went through to translate anything, even black, and you don't know what polo is, and you eat chicken every day. I'm just saying, like, we have to develop the same kind of patience for our brothers and sisters here in Ghana. Yeah, I think the difference is that
when you go and visit somewhere, because most people who when they come and visit Ghana, they have all the patience in the world. But when you move to Ghana, it's a whole other beast. Like, you know, like you said, once that honeymoon stage is over with and you have to really get down and dirty with it and live there, it's a whole other thing. So like when you travel into Mexico or Europe or whatever, and you're only there for a week or 2 weeks, and it's like, okay, I got patience for this, I'm going back home. But then when you come home and you really have to live here or live there in Ghana, the biggest thing I can say is patience. Patience is such a virtue. We have to learn it. And I think that is the key to surviving and staying in Ghana, is to be able to develop a level of patience. As they say in the religious folks say, you need the patience of Job.
Honey, you ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. But you know, for me though, at the end of the day, I would still rather. I have to just be honest. I would still rather put up with all of the I'm coming, all of the sweet talk, all of the things that go on here in Ghana that may not be perfect. Yeah. I still rather put up with all of that than what I've experienced in my lifetime in the U.S. Absolutely. I'm serious, because it's totally different there. You know, you're not only being patient with your people, you have these other ethnic groups that's always down your neck and your back. Yes. And listen, it's a whole different story with that. So, you know, for me, I think again, that's what keeps me here.
Exactly. And that is the point that I wanted to drive home. You know, my last couple of videos have been talking about the challenges that women have in Ghana and all that. But even with all of the challenges, as bad as they have been, every single one of those women still feel like, even with all of this going on, all of this craziness going on, I would rather be right here in Ghana with all of this foolishness than to come back to the US. So that is the point I want to drive across to the people who are watching, that especially to our Ghanaian, my Ghanaian followers, we don't expect Ghana to be perfect. We know that there are going to be challenges. We need you all to be patient with us. We're going to be patient with you all. And although we are expressing our frustrations and our concerns and all of these things, we still would rather be in Ghana than be dealing with this mess over here. So I really appreciate you for your honesty. Your honesty is what made me want to talk to you in the first place. I saw a post that you posted in one of the groups, and I was like, thank you so much for somebody's actually talking about what it's like. Like, it's not great all the time. It's very frustrating sometimes, but even with all of those frustrations, look at that scenery behind you. Just to be able to stand there and look at that beautiful blue sky with those beautiful green trees and that beautiful water behind you, that alone is enough for me to be like, okay, I just want to be there. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. That is so beautiful.
Exactly. And I do. I thank you for having me so much on your show here, because you know, you also said something just now that's very important as well. Is that, you know, I appreciate the patience that the Ghanaians have with us as well, because, you know, we can be very, you know, what they call difficult. And it's not difficult. And I want to just let them know it really isn't. It's just what we were accustomed to, what we're used to. And we understand that we're here now. So we're trying to be patient with you when I'm coming, but we also really, thank you for, trying to be patient with us as well, because, we love being back home. We
Absolutely.
like being here. We like you said, like, with all the stuff that we talk about, and some of this stuff is within us. It's our own thing,
Yeah.
but we still rather take this than take what's going on in the America that so many people think that they want to be and they want to go to. But, I say experience it all. Like, we're here, experiencing here. I say, if you have a chance, go. But I say no and come back.
Yeah.
Come back home, because this is where I'm at. I'm back home and I
Yeah.
belong here. So
Absolutely.
there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Absolutely. And that's what I say. You like it or not, that's our home too. So we're coming, we're there, we're staying, we love it, and we're gonna make it work. But whatever we have to do.
Exactly.
So I really, really appreciate you for your time today. I know it has been a challenge, but I really appreciate you for making this work.
Anytime. And yes, and even the challenges that I talked about, some of the challenges I haven't actually experienced much. I haven't been to that famous with other people, and I know that they're here as well. But we can all make it work. We can all make it's possible. I swear, because like you said, we're here and we're here to stay. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. Absolutely love it.
Lights out and all. I'm here.
Lights out and all. I don't think, I don't think Ghanaians even understand like how serious. Like, to me, I think our Ghanaian sisters and brothers need to understand, if we are willing to walk away from all of these conveniences that people think are so convenient, we're willing to just wash our hands of it and say, no, I'm going to Ghana. You have to know that it's gotta be pretty rough. My lights are on, but how much did I have to pay? Yes, you're drowning here. Like, all you do is work and pay bills, work and pay bills, and work and pay bills. Like, that's your life. But in Ghana, you have the option to, you have your own house. You don't have that mortgage. You relax. Look at you're relaxing in Ghana. You figured out how to make you some coins, and you making it happen. And that's what that's the goal. The goal is for our people coming from here to understand that it's doable. You can make it happen. You make those, don't just drop your guard completely, but you can relax. Yes. You can take a breather, but you got to have patience, and you got to understand that it's a different culture, and you got to get in where you fit in and learn how to maneuver. And it'll work. It'll work just fine. So tell us, how can people get in touch with you if they want to get your products or whatever? How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook. I'm on one group is called Birthright. So please join that group. I'm also on Volunteer We Are One People Global on Facebook. And if you want to, for the products or anything like that, you can add Raw Shea Butter on Facebook as well. And it's Ghana Naturals Raw Shea Butter. And it said you can look at the website if you want. That's https Ghana Natural Raw Shea Butter .ecwid.com. So there's lots of ways to get in touch with me. And hopefully you guys really go on and look at some of the work that I'm doing here in Ghana and that I've been doing in the past 8 years. And I'm just trying to make something work. I'm just also trying to help some of the young women in the community. My goal is to employ, empower, and to encourage the young girls that's in the community as well. So hopefully you guys, follow me, or at least if you purchase any of the products, believe me, it helps the community, it helps the schools and things like that. So I'm one person, I can't do it alone. If you guys help out, then that helps me as well in the community. So yeah.
So I'm gonna have you send me your links so that I can put them in the description of this video. People, you all can reach her in the description box. And Ms. Robyn, I really thank you. It's been such a joy to talk to you and seeing. Oh my God, you got me ready to. I'm ready to buy my. I suppose it's come in a few months, but now I'm like, I'm ready to go today.
Girl, you better hurry up. Girl, you better hurry up home.
I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get there. This place is like a Venus flytrap. This place here is like a Venus flytrap. Once you in, it's hard to get out, man. It's like it's hard to get out of here. So if anybody who is living in Ghana and you may be having some challenges or whatever, I'm telling you, figure that shit out. Because coming back here should not even be an option at this point. Like, if I could do it all over again, I would.
And reach out, reach out to each other. When those challenges come, let's reach out to each other. Let's talk, let's powwow. Let's figure it out. You know what I mean? Because it can be done. We don't have to just run and give up. We can figure it out. And every day for me isn't a picnic, but every day I manage to try to have a smile on my face. And I do thank God for being right here in Ghana, because not only is Ghana good for me, it's also a peaceful country with everything that's going on around the world.
Yeah.
So, I also thank God for that as well. So we can't run. I say don't run back. If you don't have to, don't run back.
Yeah.
Nah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are such a joy. That beautiful smile. Oh my God, you have such a gorgeous smile. It's so bright. Oh my God, I love it. That's that Ghana joy. Yeah.
Listen, let me tell y'all African Americans one last thing. When y'all come here and y'all meet me, don't come meet me talking about something. You look just like one of them. Who is one of them? I am one of them.
You are? What is that? People say stuff like that.
I done met 4 girls offline. And when they meet me in person, the first thing they say to me is that, oh, you look just like one of them. And I'm like,
one of them who?
One of who? One of who? I don't understand. One of who? I am African, and I'm African American, but I'm African first.
African first. African first, man. You gotta love our people,
ladies and gentlemen. I am one of them. Yes, I am one of them.
That is hilarious. You gotta love our people, man. Our people so wild, man. They wild. They wild. Well, Ms. Robyn, I thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
And make sure you send me your information so I can leave it for everyone to get in contact with you. And I look forward to talking back to you again soon.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.